Hello students, once again welcome back to our biology class. Myself Dr. Agweta here, and in our earlier classes we have discussed a lot about tissues. So when we say tissue is a group of similar kind of cells which are differentiated meant for the function. In that, yes, there are epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue and nervous tissue. We started with the tissue as such epithelial tissue, right? So when we're talking about the epithelium, it is mainly epi refers to the surface, whether it's the outer surface or inner surface, it is covering epithelium, we say. Now in the epithelium, yes, I was explaining you people regarding what it is mainly. The squamous epithelium, yes, we have discussed, and in the epithelium we have discussed about the cuboidal epithelium. In the epithelial tissue, we have discussed about the columnar as well as the ciliated epithelium. So we are discussing in the epithelial tissue as such. So epithelial tissue, we were discussing mainly the glandular epithelium. As such, glands are of basically two types. I have told earlier also, based on the secretion how they will release. So the glands where they release their secretion through the duct, they are called as the exocrine glands. And the glands which they release their secretion directly into the blood, they are called as the endocrine glands. Exocrine glands, best example is the liver. Exocrine gland, best example is pancreas. Exocrine gland, best example is the mammary gland, salivary gland also, right? So they have the duct and through that they release their secretions. Whereas the endocrine gland, our pituitary gland, our thyroid, even the adrenal gland, all these are comes under mainly endocrine glands. Fine. So we are already done the discussion of this. Now when we talk about epithelial tissue, under that we are going to discuss about glandular epithelium. So we say that glandular epithelium. Glandular epithelium. Well, glandular epithelium are of two types. So the first type under this glandular epithelium is called as a unicellular, yes, glandular epithelium. Unicellular glandular epithelium. Glandular epithelium. For this, best example, unicellular glandular epithelium, the best example is, we call it as mainly the goblet cells. Goblet cells of mainly the gut or alimentary canal, we call it as gut or alimentary canal or digestive system. So we are calling them as a goblet cells or mucus secreting cells, we call them. They are mucus secreting cells. So how actually appear mucus secreting cells? So we can say that most of these cells are resting on common basement membrane only, we can say. So this is a basement membrane, and you are finding the cells may be like this. So the cells may be like this, then the cells like this. So this is the mucus producing cells what we are observing. All these are mainly mucus producing cells. They do have the nucleus, and these cells are compactly arranged, and so what happens, these cells keep on producing lots of mucus. So mucus is what? It is most important protective secretion, and if mucus is not there, the hydrochloric acid of our stomach will burn our intestine, right? So to avoid all that, they produce mucus, and mucus keep on making a protective coating all over the digestive system. So thus they produce mainly the mucus, we call them as mainly the mucus secreting cells. So here the mucus secreting cells what we are observing. So they are also called the goblet cells. So they have what we can say the nucleus, and they are mainly common, we can say common basement membrane, yes. So this is what we can say the basic structure of the unicellular glandular epithelium. So what actually it reveals to us? Here we can say that by structure. So the structure they are, we can say that compactly arranged. Compactly they are arranged. Compactly arranged, uninucleated. Okay, they are means single, uninucleated. Then yes, they may be the mucus secreting. So mucus secretions they exhibit the presence of. So where we can find them location wise? Location, yes, as such. Throughout we can say that they can be throughout alimentary canal, then they are found in the respiratory system, they are found. Other than that, where they are found, they are also found in urinogenital system. So what is the function of these unicellular glandular epithelium? The functions as such. What actually, why they are so important? They are very important because they provide protection, mucus trap, pathogens. Pathogen means disease causing organism, right? Pathogen. And then yes, neutralizing function they do. Okay, and other than that, yes, mucus protection, mucus trap the pathogen, neutralizing mainly the gut acid. So thus it is very essential to understand what is a glandular epithelium. Glandular epithelium means the epithelium which is meant for or modified for the secretion of some substances. So what is that substance here? The simple glandular epithelium or unicellular glandular epithelium. Best example is mainly mucus secreting cells. We call them as the goblet cells. So we are finding these goblet cells in the mouth also, in the esophagus also. Yes, we are finding the goblet cell in the stomach and intestine also. That's why a common term is given to the entire digestive system. We call it as alimentary canal. And other than that, yes, when we look at the structure of this, mainly the mucus secreting simple glandular epithelium, they are mainly the uninucleated. Most of the time, yes, mainly the nucleus basal located, and then yes, they have the mainly on basement membrane and lots of mucus they secrete. So the cells are compactly arranged. This is what we talk about the structure. Location, yes, we find this kind of cells in the respiratory tract also, in the what we can say digestive tract also, even in the reproductive tract and urinary tract also. Thus, wherever they are present, imagine you are breathing and then you are inhaling certain bacteria or pathogen or dust particle. As it go into the respiratory system, mucus is present that will trap that pathogen or the dust particle and avoid its infection. So the same thing applicable to the genital system or reproductive system also, as well as in the digestive system also. Other than that, yes, they provide the protection. And here what we can say that mucus trap pathogen and they provide protection, and other than that protection from the gastric acid, HCl. So HCl is there in the stomach, but the food when it is going along with which may burn the intestine. That's why it is avoided. When thick layer of the mucus, right? So what we call as mainly it is the thick layer of mucus, and thus with the mucus they mainly avoid the effect of the HCl and thus give the protection. Thus they mainly involved in the neutralizing, because certain minerals or ions also can be stored. So thus neutralizing the gut acid. This is all what we talk regarding the mainly epithelial tissue, especially when it is modified as a glandular, yes, unicellular glandular epithelium. Well, we need to understand the next kind of next category of mainly the epithelium. Yes, it is also again glandular epithelium only, but between the multicellular glandular epithelium, we are going to discuss about mainly multicellular glandular epithelium. We will discuss now. So here, when we are talking about multicellular glandular epithelium, yes, as we have seen, the single cells and they are mainly properly arranged. Yes, we call them as a unicellular. But when we talk about multicellular glandular epithelium, yes, so clusters of the cells. So there are the clusters of the cells will be there. So here we are talking about the multicellular glandular epithelium. So where is the best example for this? Example, yes, we can say that salivary gland. Salivary gland are the best example for multicellular glandular epithelium. We do have the salivary gland below the tongue. We call it as it is the lingual. Okay. Then on the either side of the cheek, yes, we have mainly what we can say the salivary gland. We call them as the parotid. Just below the ear and yes, above the mainly the we can say that here maxilla we call it as, and that region is called as maxillary salivary glands or submaxillary salivary glands. So three pair of salivary glands we have, and they are mainly most important that secrete the saliva. Well, saliva is useful in mainly breaking of the starch or the complex carbohydrates, right? So into simple what we can say carbohydrates. So here salivary gland are the best example for multicellular glandular epithelium. Looking into the structure, how actually it appears, let me tell you. It looks like this. It is a single salivary gland I am just mentioning. So salivary gland, yes, appear to be like this, and these are the complex of the cells what you are observing here. So these are all the cells which are secretory by nature, and all these cells, yes, they are also resting on common basement membrane. So these cells are resting on common basement membrane here. Fine. This is the common basement membrane, and inside, yes, we can find there is every cell is very active until unless it has the nucleus. So presence of nucleus indicate they are the active and live cells. So non-nucleated cells may not be alive, or they are just a carrier. Non-nucleated cells but still very active in certain functions. You need to understand RBC. RBC have no nucleus, but here all these cells have the nucleus. And what they do, yes, they will release their secretion in this common opening here. Okay, and they release their secretion in the common opening what we are observing, and all here deposited. It is basically the saliva. So salivary glands, yes, they secrete the saliva, and then mainly this is the saliva. Saliva having an enzyme called as lysozyme, or yes, even salivary amylase also we say, and yes, saliva is having lots of important components. What we can find inside the saliva? Yes, the enzyme salivary amylase. Saliva with, we can say that the enzyme amylase. And one more enzyme is there, mainly lysozyme. Lysozyme, yes, it is an antibacterial. It can break the bacterial cell wall, thus it provides the protection. So even you are keeping your mouth open, bacteria going inside, and you will not get any disease because your salivary lysozyme is inactivating the bacteria. And then amylase is essential to break the starch into simple saccharides again. So now here, when we talk about mainly regarding the salivary gland, yes, they are the mainly multicellular glandular epithelium, and there is what we can say basement membrane. Fine. And here they are secreting the saliva already. Yes, it is the lumen, we call it as the lumen or the gap. And then these cells are mainly uninucleated cells. So these are the secretory uninucleated cells. So we can find they have what we can say these structures, nuclei, we can say nuclei or the nuclear structures. So this is the structure of mainly we can say salivary gland. We can call it as cluster of secretory cells. Secretory cells, they are cluster of secretory cells, and as such, what is the location? Yes, mainly we can say that is location as such. They are the salivary glands. And then what is the major role or the function of these salivary glands? We need to understand as such. The functions, let me tell you. Functions mainly secretion. Okay. So other than that, they also help in, we can say that lubrication, then digestion begins in the mouth. Digestion, as well as they will provide the protection against pathogens. So the compound glandular epithelium, not only always in the salivary gland, compound glandular epithelium can be seen even in the mammary gland also. There is also mammary glands are secreting the milk. So compound epithelium can be seen in the mammary gland, as well as compound epithelium can be seen even in a number of other ducts also, as well as the pancreas. They are the group of cells again, pancreatic acini we call them. They also compound or multicellular glandular epithelium we can find there also. Well, so even in the reproductive structures also we can find a compound glandular epithelium. So I hope this is very clear now regarding mainly the compound epithelium. Best example is basically the salivary gland, as the structure indicate common basement membrane, cluster of the cells. All the cells they secrete the secretion in the lumen, and what is that secretion? Is the saliva. Saliva with the amylase help in digestion of carbohydrate. Saliva with the lysozyme mainly the inactivate the bacteria by breaking the bacterial cell wall, that they provide the protection. And without saliva, chewing is highly difficult. Converting the food into the we call it as mainly the bolus. When the food we chew in the mouth, then it becomes semi-solid, easily swallowable. So then thus they provide the lubrication, they help in digestion, they give the protection against the pathogens. So this is all about what we have discussed regarding the compound glandular epithelium. Now we need to understand next kind of important concept as such. Yes, we are done with the discussion regarding mainly what we have discussed about mainly the glandular epithelium, unicellular as well as the multicellular glandular epithelium we have discussed. But in the epithelial tissue, how these cells are so compactly arranged without any problem? Yes, they are well arranged, and then yes, they will be mainly because of, we call them as the epithelial tissue cell junctions, we call them. So cell junctions. What these are the cell junctions? They are of three types. The first one is called as a tight junction. Tight junctions means the cells as such epithelium, I am telling you here, they are mainly without any kind of gap. The cells are very much in close contact, we call them. So these are mainly the tight junction. So why the tight junctions? So here we are finding this is all mainly the tight junctions. Tight junctions means the compact arrangement without any gap. So tight junctions are mainly giving compact arrangement of cells without intercellular space. So this is what we talk about mainly tight junction. What is the role? So the function of these tight junction functions include prevent leakage of substances. Leakage of substances they are preventing. So where they are seen. So basically the location we can say that mainly they are observable in gut system. So in the intestine as well as in the stomach you can find the cells are so compactly arranged, there is no gap between them. There is lots of digestive juice or the semi-digested food is there and it is not going to leaking out of the intestine because there is a presence of tight junctions. So in the gut system, yes, they are present and mainly they prevent the leakage of substances. As such, they avoid any abnormalities. Now, the second kind of cell junctions in the epithelial tissue, we call it as adhering junctions. Adhering junctions. Adhering junctions refers to as such. The cells are there, right? So the cells are there, but there is a slight gap, but still this gap is packed up. So the gap is packed up by certain kind of cementing substance, we can say, or matrix protein. So thus these mainly presence of matrix protein will make the cells to remain attached. So yes, these are what we can say that adhering junctions. Adhering junctions, and yes, cells are attached or they are adhering with the cementing or the matrix proteins. So when cells are like this, they are totally attached or adhering. They provide the protection, right? So what they will mainly helpful, the function, yes, function, they provide protection. Where we can find these adhering junctions? Yes, we can find these mainly the adhering junctions in the skin. So skin cells are still flexible. Yes, location wise we can say that they are found in the skin. This is what we talk about mainly the adhering junctions. Then number 3, we call them as mainly gap junctions. Gap junctions. So yes, we find a certain kind of gap in between the cells. So imagine yes, mainly between between neighboring cells. Neighboring cells. We can find the gap junctions. So what are these gap junctions? As such, we can say that this is one cell and another cell of the neighbor, but slightly away or distant. So they are connected by a kind of junction or cytoplasmic bridge. So thus the neighboring cells will, mainly the main function of this, we can say that function exchange of nutrients and other substances. Exchange of substances. Yes. Where we can find it? Gap junctions. We can find the cells of the heart. There are certain cells where, and then these cells mainly having a gap or the distance between them, but still they do the exchange of substances between each other, maybe the nutrients, maybe the gases, okay, maybe the water, minerals, many things, and they have a gap. This kind of a gap junction can be seen in the plant cell, we call it the plasmodesmata. But in animal cell we call it a gap junction, even though there is a gap between them, they are easy or flexible in movement also. Thus, still the neighboring cells remain in a proper, we can say that contact because of the gap junction. So, exchange of substance is very important by the presence of the gap junction. So, what actually these gap junctions mainly what they are doing? They are providing mainly the better, what we can say that exchange of substance, but is mainly located in the heart cell. This is about what we can say regarding the entire epithelium. Yes, we have discussed about mainly the epithelial cells and their junctions. But the epithelium is always what we have discussed. It is a simple epithelium. But when we look at mainly the compound epithelium, we have to discuss. So this is all what we have discussed about mainly the cells and how they are arranged. All these simple epithelium. But when we talk about compound epithelium, why it is called as mainly the compound epithelium? Because the epithelium is when it is multicellular or multi-layered epithelium, we can call it as a compound epithelium. So multi-layered or compound epithelium. Compound epithelium. Sometimes this compound epithelium is also called as stratified epithelium. Stratified epithelium. Stratified epithelium. So the compound epithelium or multicellular or multi-layered epithelium or stratified epithelium. Yes, how many types they are? We can say that mainly number one, stratified squamous epithelium. Number two, stratified cuboidal epithelium. Number three, stratified columnar epithelium. Yes. Number four, stratified, we can say that mainly ciliated epithelium. Right? So these are all stratified squamous epithelium, mainly seen. Example is skin. Then stratified cuboidal, example ducts of various exocrine glands. Then stratified columnar epithelium, yes, we can see them even mainly stratified columnar epithelium, and mainly they are also called as transitional epithelium also. Let me mention transitional epithelium, and example for this, it is mainly seen in the urinary bladder. referred as pseudo-stratified. Pseudo-stratified is one more. Yes, stratified ciliated epithelium as well as and pseudo-stratified epithelium mainly seen in the lungs, especially the alveoli. So let me tell you here, when we talk about basically a multicellular, or we can say that mainly it is multi-layered epithelium means we have studied the single layered epithelial cells, we have studied all that, but when we talk about the multi-layered epithelium, yes, the epithelium may be many more layer of cells, right? So many more layer of cells, and they are all arranged on the common basement membrane. So this is what we are observing inside. All of them are uninucleated. So these are all uninucleated, and yes, we are finding mainly the basement membrane. And these are all what we can say that mainly multi-layer of cells. All these are the epithelial cells only. And then, so let me tell you where actually the stratified squamous epithelium can be seen in the skin. Our mainly the location wise as such, when we talk about mainly the compound epithelium location of the compound epithelium, they are seen in the buccal cavity. They are seen in the pharynx. They are also observable in the vagina and cervix. Yes. So already I have mentioned regarding the stratified squamous epithelium as such. In the buccal cavity or in the mouth, when we are talking, yes, you are taking the hot tea or coffee and then you are damaging your cells. So the damage will be very fast, it will heal up because multiple layer of cells are there which will renew it very fast. So thus they provide the protection against the chemical and mechanical damage. So what is the major function of these multiple layer of cells? So as such, when we talk about importance,